From a customer service worker who argued with customers instead of helping them,
Letting me talk. You're not letting me talk, so I can't help you, Elizabeth.
to a manager who played sick games to humiliate his waitresses to eat beans off a plate with no hands.
Come on, girl, who wants to go home? Oh, look.
Here are the worst employees in Undercover Boss Season 1, starting with Danielle in GSI Commerce. Danielle, GSI Commerce, Season 1, Episode 6. Which was a big company that handled customer service for some of the biggest stores in the world, and the holiday season was the most important time of the year for them. To see how the company was doing with all the busy holiday calls, CEO Michael Rubin decided to go undercover.
Rubin, I'm the founder and CEO of GSI Commerce, and this is my creation. We design the websites, we pick up the phones, we ship the merchandise, everything under our clients' brands. If you're an online shopper, you probably used GSI and didn't even know it.
He left his office and went to work as a regular employee in the phone lines. At first, he expected the job to be fast and less stressful, but during the process, he met an employee who would shock him with her bad attitude. While working in the busy customer service room, Rubin worked alongside Danielle. She was a seasonal worker hired not too long ago to help handle the extra holiday phone calls.
Danielle, Gary, how are you? She's gonna be able to help you out learning the systems a little bit better there, so you guys have at it.
In customer service, workers are supposed to be kind, patient, and helpful. However, Danielle stood out almost immediately for the wrong reasons. Instead of helping stressed holiday callers, Danielle made things worse. Her phone conversations quickly turned into arguments. Rather than calming customers down or fixing their problems, Danielle argued back and showed a lot of anger over the phone.
Ma'am, Elizabeth, you're not letting me talk. You're not letting me talk, so I can't help you, Elizabeth. I'm sorry that you're having a hard time.
Danielle's bad attitude continued throughout her shift. She spoke to callers with an irritated tone and showed very little patience. She allowed her frustration to take over instead of staying professional.
When this credit's going to be issued back?
No, that's not what I said at all. You just haven't let me finish a sentence.
There wasn't a lot that Danielle was doing right. She had an attitude with customers.
And then I said we would do an after-the-fact credit.
From the look on Rubin's face and his body movement, it was obvious that he was uncomfortable with her actions. But then, he just had to let her go ahead since he was on a mission. However, because of her behavior, many customers became more frustrated after speaking with her. Some were so upset by her attitude that they simply hung up the phone.
Here's the corporate number.
Not a problem. Be happy to assist you. Okay, corporate's number is 1-800. Okay, she hung up. So and that's not even a usable call.
For a company that was supposed to solve problems and keep customers happy, this was a major issue happening right in front of the CEO. It was pretty upsetting that a viewer said, "As someone who worked in such a job as a student, I can tell you there was more than enough in that call to have her fired. She only worked there for 2 weeks or what, but it's still the trial period, during which each party has the right to terminate the employment immediately. People like her are cancerous for a customer service job. They try to corrupt everyone around them." During Michael Rubin's undercover experience, he worked alongside many GSI Commerce employees, but Danielle was the only one consistently performing poorly, and he was shocked by how she treated customers. This was because her actions hurt customer satisfaction and risked damaging the reputation of the major brands that trusted GSI Commerce to their customers.
From heartbroken to extreme frustration and anger. Not what I expect of my employees. I think she had a chip on her shoulder, and she wanted to prove that she was right and that satisfied the customer's needs, and that will never be acceptable in my company. Obviously, I didn't want to blow my cover, so she's actually getting lucky that this show is being filmed, because if she wasn't, she'd be walked out of here today, because I don't accept that.
With the way Michael later addressed her behavior, many viewers clearly shared his frustration, leading to comments like, "There was absolutely no need to be rude to that customer as a result of it. They're not your peers. You cannot treat them like your college buddies," straight up disrespecting the customer. At the end of the show, it was time for the big reveal, and the shock on Danielle's face was impossible to miss, as Rubin revealed his true identity as the CEO of GSI Commerce. She was completely speechless.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good.
Remember me?
Yes, I do.
I'm not actually Gary. I'm Michael Rubin, the founder and CEO of GSI.
He confronted Danielle about her behavior and poor customer service. By that point, he'd watched her argue with customers, respond with visible frustration, and escalate situations that should have been de-escalated.
The way that call was handled wasn't acceptable, and not the way we can ever treat consumers. It was killing me. I mean, I was really mad. I wanted to jump in there and blow my cover.
Many viewers expected the meeting to end with her being fired. Instead, Ruben gave her a final warning and one last chance to prove herself worthy of being called an employee.
I could have handled it with a little bit more class, but I didn't get to learn from the experience and hopefully improve next time so the next customer doesn't have to hang up really angry.
Something most employees would never receive in a situation like that. However, while Episode 6 revealed how rude an employee could be, Episode 1 was a completely different kind of employee behavior that would push things even further. Walter, Waste Management, Season 1, Episode 1. When Larry O'Donnell, Chief Operating Officer of Waste Management, arrived at a facility in Florida, he wanted to see the daily grind firsthand, so he decided to go undercover by changing his appearance and joining the team as a regular worker to understand the challenges on the ground.
Hi, I'm Randy.
Good morning. I'm Sandy.
Sandy, nice to meet you.
Okay, I got your clothes all ready. Get changed and then come back out to see me.
Surprisingly, what he got instead was a crash course in one of the harshest working environments in the series. From the start, he was paired with Walter, a landfill supervisor known for his strict standards and no-nonsense attitude.
Randy.
I'm Walter. How you doing, Randy?
Hey, Walter, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too. Today you'll be working for me. We'll be picking litter on the southwest side of the hill.
Okay.
And we got a lot of paper blowing everywhere. Every 10 minutes you should have a bag filled and ready to go. Let's get with it.
Let's go.
All right.
It did not take long for Walter to establish the tone of the job. There was no patience for hesitation, no room for mistakes. When Larry asked for guidance and technique, Walter's response was direct and blunt.
Side to side, going up, working yourself up the hill.
I think I can handle that. Is there any technique I need to know about, or?
What kind of technique you want? You just picking up paper.
What's the figured you're pretty experienced at this? Is it best to do it by hand or use this some, or?
It's not a big deal. They're sticking holes in paper, picking it up. That's the way
And
you
is
do
there
it.
any trick to keep the trash from blowing out of the bag?
The job itself involved collecting windblown trash across steep, uneven terrain, and the pace was relentless. Larry struggled to keep up, and that became a problem immediately.
Well, I've got one down there, and I've got this one probably about halfway full.
So basically telling me that you haven't done much, right?
Well,
What you saying?
Although Walter and Larry later had a little chit-chat during lunch break, where Walter opened up about his health.
what else do you do away from work?
I'm on dialysis, and that take up 3 days, 3 nights anyway.
Wow.
I lost the functions in my kidneys.
He still didn't slow down or coach him through it. Instead, he made a decision that shocked most viewers. He fired Larry from the shift right there on the hill.
Well, that's second in emotion, Randy. Nice working with you. I'm glad you came to Waste Management to try it out, but you just don't have it.
The moment sparked immediate backlash from viewers who felt Walter crossed a line, especially given the intensity of the conditions. Nah, the male who was the paper cleanup outside in those grassy hills and fired as CEO is just bitter. I watched those wins happening. He was playing. Ain't no way anyone could do what he does the first day on a day like that. Despite the controversy, when the undercover reveal eventually came, Larry did not retaliate. Rather, he chose to acknowledge Walter's resilience to work despite having a demanding health issue.
Your personal story really touched me. And you've been on dialysis for 19, almost 20 years, and yet you have such a positive attitude the way you go about your life. I'd like to create a program here where you can get some paid time off to try to help some of these folks going through treatment, because you figured out a way to live this way. You're a motivational kind of guy.
Thank you. It means a lot, because most people in that position that high, you never see them. They won't take the time out to come down to see what you're doing or even say hello.
While Larry created a mean and toxic work environment, the employees in Season 1, Episode 4, would show that not every workplace conflict comes down to discipline alone. Sometimes, it starts with leadership itself. Jeannie and Steve, White Castle, Season 1, Episode 4. White Castle has been in business since 1921, building a reputation over decades as one of America's most recognizable fast food brands. To see whether his grandfather's motto of happy employees, making happy customers was still true, Dave Reif, owner and executive board member of White Castle, went undercover as a new entry-level employee named David Allen.
I'm the oldest member of the 4th generation of the Ingram family, and I'm an owner of White Castle.
The new store opening in Hamilton, Ohio, Dave saw firsthand how poor communication was creating frustration among employees. Managers were giving conflicting instructions, new workers were struggling to find their footing, and morale was already beginning to slip.
Oh, you know you can clock in. I didn't know.
Miss Donna, can you run over and help him over there for me?
Okay, you gonna stay here, Tam?
Yep. You go back with Donna
as
soon as she gets done.
What I've seen so far on the shift, first of all, there's way too many people back there. Everybody's kind of given direction, and I think it's confusing.
And Jeannie made things worse. She complained directly to Dave about the company's decision to bring in large numbers of workers and managers to help with the opening.
They bring in a lot of new people, a lot of borrowed-in help that they're sort of standing around like, tell me what to do.
How many people work here?
Right now, I've got probably 70.
Wow.
Right.
Instead of building confidence, she blamed employee frustration and decisions made by corporate leadership and multiple managers to handle the company's issues.
There's 4 managers standing back there right now.
So in that situation, who do they know who to listen to?
They're trying to listen to everybody, and that's why they're all like little lost lambs. And if you'll notice while you're working back there with them, they're not happy. I mean, look at them guys. Do they look like they're enjoying their jobs? I mean, now seriously.
Then, when Dave thought he had seen it all, the next stop revealed a different kind of failure. At the White Castle Bakery, Dave was assigned to work on the bun packing machine. Steve, the production supervisor responsible for training him, struggled to explain the process clearly, and the consequences quickly became obvious.
Why is that catching that top? I don't like creating havoc, which is what I felt like I was doing. There was product getting destroyed.
Rather than slowing down and helping Dave understand the job, Steve showed little patience or even taught him how to handle the pressure. Instead, he ridiculed Dave's constant question without helping.
What am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? Well, a lot.
However, this was only the tip compared to what other employees did. In a completely different environment, physical labor and live operational pressure exposed a deeper breakdown in training, judgment, and execution under stress. This was the exact situation in the next case. Racetrack staff, Churchill Downs, Season 1, Episode 5. Churchill Downs Incorporated is one of the biggest names in American horse racing. The company owns multiple racetracks and casino operations and is best known as the home of the Kentucky Derby. With the aim of getting a closer look at his workforce, COO Bill Karstingen went undercover at 2 company properties, Calder Casino and Racecourse in Miami and Arlington Park near Chicago.
About entry-level jobs.
Hi there, I'm Bill Johns. I have a reservation.
His first stop was Calder, where he was assigned to work alongside horse trainer Gillian, an experienced employee responsible for caring for and preparing racehorses on a demanding daily schedule. The partnership got off in a very rough start, almost immediately. While helping bathe the horse, Bill accidentally soaked Gillian, and her reaction was so quick and blunt that she even commented on Bill's future.
That side hose him?
Yep.
And you don't get your boss wet.
Sorry, boss.
Right now, Bill's future is not looking the greatest. He just has a lot to learn.
To be fair, Bill was struggling, but after spending less than a day with him, Gillian had already written him off. Instead of focusing on helping a new worker improve, she seemed more interested in pointing out his shortcomings. The comment clearly got to Bill, which was obvious in his behavior, but then he continued the job, though feeling discouraged. Aside from Gillian, Bill had an encounter with another employee named Denise. She worked the night shift at Arlington Park, earning just $8 an hour while commuting 9 minutes each way to clean luxury suites. There was no question that Denise worked hard. However, as Bill began shadowing her, her patience quickly started to wear thin.
Vacuum out? Did you clean everything
I
over
didn't
there?
get the bar over here, though.
I did the bar area.
Okay, help me with my technique.
And hit your button. Go under the table.
Denise has a difficult job. She has a lot of work to get done quickly, so I'm doing my best to keep up with her.
She showed him how the job worked, but Bill struggled to keep up. Before long, Denise was venting to the camera and making negative comments about Bill's performance at work.
He's just not cleaning material, and it's slowing me down tremendously. I just want to get moving.
Denise's situation was difficult, and the long commute would frustrate almost anyone. Still, openly criticizing a coworker on camera did little to help the situation and only added to Bill's growing frustration. If Bill hoped for a better experience with his next trainer, he was about to face an even bigger challenge. Kenny was a 30-year veteran valet at Arlington Park. He knew the job inside and out and had spent decades working busy race days.
Hi there.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm Billy. I'm looking for a job as a valet.
You're not scared to work?
I'll do exactly what you tell me to do,
Okay.
sir.
When Bill was assigned to shadow him, the fast pace of the job quickly became a problem. Bill struggled to keep up, and Kenny's patience began running out. Instead of slowing down and helping Bill learn, Kenny eventually stopped training him altogether and started giving him step-by-step instructions in real
The
time.
race is right here. 6th race, 7th race, 8th race, 9th race, 10th race. Get the number I tell you. 7th race, 7. Give me those.
Okay.
8th race, 6. 9th race, give me number 8.
Okay.
For someone with 3 decades of experience, it was a surprising response. Bill was clearly struggling, yet the training process had completely broken down. By this point, the pressure was starting to overwhelm him.
The clipboard.
I'm getting my butt kicked in there. This is tough.
And soon enough, it created problems on the job. At one point, Kenny and Bill became separated and spent several minutes wandering around, looking for each other, while race day operations continued around them.
Where are you, Kenny? Where are you? Lost Kenny.
1 minute 2 post time. 1 minute.
You seen Kenny?
Where's Billy?
Where are you, Kenny? Where are you?
Where'd our valet go?
What started as a simple training exercise had turned into a perfect example of how quickly things can fall apart when communication and patience disappear. However, not all challenges came from physical or operational strain. In some workplaces, the most revealing issues came from what employees chose to share about their personal lives while on duty, which was obvious in Season 1, Episode 7. Frontline Staff, Hershin Family Entertainment, Season 1, Episode 7. Joel Manby, CEO of Hershin Family Entertainment, went undercover to see how the recession was affecting his employees and what life was really like in the front lines. What he found was a group of employees willing to share the company's problems with anyone who would listen, including a documentary camera. Albert worked the front gates and stroller booth at Silver Dollar City. He was energetic, dedicated, and took pride in his work.
Good morning, Albert. Hey. This is John Briggs.
Nice to meet you.
He's
My
going to
name's
be
Albert.
working with
Nice
you
to meet
today. Okay?
Good deal.
All right. Have a great day, guys.
Great. Okay, good to meet you.
When the conversation turned to his future, Albert revealed that he could not afford design school tuition and was working full-time just to pay for a few classes each semester.
You want to go to a design school?
I don't know yet. That's the problem, is that I come from a pretty poor family. We weren't well off in any sense. And so I have to work to go to school, and I'm trying to go to school for work. I'm just doing 10 hours this semester, and then working 40-plus hours a week also. Wow.
For Hershin, that was not a great look. Albert had just told a national television audience that his job was slowing down his long-term goals instead of enabling him to achieve them. The next employee was Richard, who started his day at 3:30 in the morning, cleaning the streets of Silver Dollar City. Joel was assigned to work alongside him during one of his undercover jobs.
My name's Richard. Hi, Richard. I'm John. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Richard took his work seriously and expected the same level of effort from the people around him. Throughout the shift, he paid close attention to Joel's performance and was quick to point out mistakes whenever he felt the new worker was not meeting the standard.
How come there's still leaves where I do it? It's actually harder than it looks. He had to keep telling me to go back and hit those spots I was missing.
Then, the conversation shifted away from cleaning. Richard revealed that he had lost his home in a flood and was still struggling to rebuild his life years later. At this point, the routine work suddenly became a conversation about personal hardship, as he explained how the disaster had continued to affect his finances.
Went and got everything out. So we still got quite a bit of work to do.
You're a hard-working man.
Instead of talking about the park, Richard was now sharing a personal financial hardship on national television, creating another uncomfortable moment for the company. But Richard was not the last employee willing to speak openly. While working aboard the Branson Belle riverboat, Joel was assigned to Jennifer, a divorced mother of 2 who worked as a waitress. During her shift, Jennifer learned that one of her children was homesick. The news immediately led her to discuss one of her biggest frustrations of the company.
How is it raising 2 kids with this kind of a job?
Oh, it's actually really challenging, and we've been trying to get the corporation to actually get a child care facility, because with all these parks and the weird hours that we work, we can't get a normal babysitter 9 to 5.
Jennifer openly criticized the lack of childcare support available to employees and described the job as a gamble for working parents. For a company that proudly promoted itself as family-focused, it was a difficult message to hear.
I would have my child at the babysitter and then have to go turn around and go pick them right back up again, pay them for having them watch them for a couple hours and then not make any money myself. And that happens all the time, all the time. So this job is a gamble. You never know what's going to happen when you come in.
By this point, a pattern was beginning to emerge. Employees were using the cameras to highlight problems that reflected poorly on the company. And there was still one more example, which now made it seem like they all discussed about it. While working at the company's aquarium, Joel was assigned to Mercedes, whose job involved cleaning fingerprints from the aquarium glass.
What it normally looks like up here. So this is Mercedes, Sean. Use the wet hands.
That's right.
Mercedes had made significant progress in her life and took pride in the role her job played in that journey. She spoke positively about the opportunity she'd been given and seemed genuinely grateful for the stability she'd been able to build through her work at the company.
I think you missed a spot.
You know, it's really hard to get all the spots because there's so many.
You gotta take pride in what you do.
During her shift, however, she shared the story of being homeless when she first joined the company and how she had only recently managed to move into an apartment.
2 years ago, before I got this job, right before I got it, me and my son were homeless. And my son was about 1 year old. We were staying in his school. It was a private daycare, and we were sleeping on the floor.
By the end of Joel's undercover journey, multiple employees had used their time in front of the camera to discuss financial struggles, family challenges, and frustrations with the company. The pattern became so obvious throughout the episode that one viewer eventually asked, "No one in the show have a normal life? Like, I have this crappy job because at school I smoke too much pot and this is the life." But in other cases, the issue was not oversharing, it was disengagement. And at the top of it was Rackus, who had already checked out mentally even before every other employee in Season 1, Episode 3. Rackus, 7-Eleven, Season 1, Episode 3. Joe DePinto, President and CEO of 7-Eleven, was a no-nonsense former military man determined to keep his company running as efficiently as possible. To see what was really happening in the front lines, he went undercover as Danny Rossi, an unemployed man searching for a fresh start.
Camera crew will be documenting my journey as I try out entry-level jobs at some of the biggest businesses in America.
One of his assignments took him to a 7-Eleven in Medford, New York, where he wanted to understand what kept overnight employees motivated through the loudest shift of the day. Instead, he found Rackus, a clerk who seemed to be mentally unstable, moving through the shift with minimal engagement and showing little urgency even in a fast-paced overnight environment where consistency usually matters.
How are you? I'm Danny.
Hey, Mr. Danny. My name is Fakas. Nice to meet you. You can just follow me and I'll show you what to do.
The shift started simply enough. Rackus walked Joe through the night's responsibilities, including one requirement he considered important, smiling at customers throughout the shift, a basic expectation that, in theory, sets the tone for service interactions, even during low-traffic overnight hours.
So your job is to smile and greet all the customers, stock merchandise, and perform all the regular cleaning activities. You have to pick all secret pieces and glass, and if you find any money, just leave it on the ground and I'll take care of it, okay?
But it didn't take long for him to start judging the new employee. The evaluation came almost immediately, without any meaningful attempt to guide or correct behavior, hinting at criticism rather than mentorship. When Joe struggled to keep up with the pace of the work, Rackus didn't offer much patience. Instead, he told the camera crew that Danny simply didn't work hard.
Mr. Danny seems like a nice guy, but he wasn't working very hard.
The comment was hard to ignore because Rackus wasn't exactly bringing much energy himself. He appeared disengaged and unmotivated, moving through his tasks with little enthusiasm and showing no real urgency even when the store environment demanded attention to detail. Then came a moment that completely caught Joe off guard. At the end of the overnight shift, Rackus gathered the remaining bakery items, including donuts, pastries, and other unsold products, and threw them straight into the trash.
Just following direction, but it's frustrating to see so much food go to waste. We got 6,500 stores in the U.S. That's a lot of charities we could be giving to. It's something that I'm very passionate about. I don't understand it. We've got to fix that.
The waste itself is surprising, but it also highlighted a deeper operational disconnect in how unsold food was handled at the end of the shift, especially in a store that serves both overnight customers and early morning traffic. The reaction from viewers was immediate, as the sight of perfectly good food being discarded struck a nerve. I got heartbreak when watching them ditch those donuts in the trash can. The waste itself is surprising, but what Rackus revealed next was even more concerning. When Joe asked about his future with the company, Wackus openly admitted that he did not see 7-Eleven as a long-term career. In his mind, there was no real path forward and no opportunity for advancement.
I'm not gonna recommend someone to come and work for 7-Eleven. There's not much room for you to grow.
Wackus admitted that he had already checked out mentally. He was still showing up for work, but only for the paycheck, with no expectation of growth, promotion, or long-term stability within the company structure. On hearing this, another viewer said, "All the homeless would be happy for all that waste of food to be given out on streets as you lock your trash." Wackus was one of several employees who turned a normal shift into something far more personal the moment cameras were present. But the next case showed this was not limited to retail. It appeared in a completely different industry. Plumbing technicians, Roto-Rooter, Season 1, Episode 8. In Season 1, Episode 8, Rick Archia, president and COO of Roto-Rooter, went undercover as Hank Denman, expecting to learn about plumbing and field operations. What he encountered instead was not a technical problem, but a cultural one. A workforce that could execute the job, but constantly turned every shift into a stream of complaints, disclosures, and personal commentary. Daryl was the first technician Rick shadowed in New Orleans. On paper, he was competent. He showed up, he worked, and he handled the physical demands of the job without hesitation. But early in the interaction, Daryl shifted the conversation away from work entirely. He revealed that he had heart problems and that his disability claim had been denied by Roto-Rooter.
The bills started coming, that don't stop. Disability insurance said I wasn't eligible, and then so I went through my savings. I'm down to the naked bottom of them savings. Now you start worrying, because now you got to go individual and ask people to borrow.
On its own, that was serious information. The issue was how and when it was shared. Daryl disclosed an unresolved medical and HR dispute to a man he had just met, with cameras actively rolling, effectively turning a private grievance into recorded testimony. And that pattern continued in Chicago with Candace, who worked the call center and managed the color-coded dispatch system that assigned plumbers to jobs across the city.
Hey, Candace, this is Hank Denman. I'm going to have you sit with you tonight.
Hi, how are you? Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I know.
She attempted to walk Rick through the system, but quickly became frustrated when he struggled to follow it due to color blindness.
Other issue, then you want to say...
I have your phone number.
No, wait, you have to listen first, okay? Actually, the best question to ask them is their street number.
Okay, now what?
No, hold on. The next question that you're going to want to ask the customer is the zip code.
Zip code.
Then push F6 to add a new customer.
Say that again.
Hold on, we'll start from scratch.
Rather than adjust her approach or slow down the training, Candace openly expressed frustration on camera, stating that she was struggling to train him effectively, which immediately shifted the interaction from instruction to tension.
So it was very frustrating training Hank. I like helping people who have semi an idea of what's going on. He had no idea.
The training itself broke down shortly after. She stepped away mid-shift, framing it as a break, effectively abandoning the process she was meant to be demonstrating, leaving the workflow incomplete during an active dispatch cycle.
You ready for a break? I'm ready for a break. We need a break.
I'm ready for a break.
Candace's attitude didn't go unnoticed, as one viewer summed up the situation by saying, "If there's one thing you realize from this show, it's that employees aren't always patient with new people." Later, Candace shared that she was a single mother of an autistic son and was behind on her mortgage payments.
I have one autistic child. If I can get caught up on my mortgage and be able to afford to pay for daycare, things would be okay, but there's people going through it every single day, so I don't complain.
These were real and significant personal challenges, but they were disclosed in a setting where she believed she was speaking within a corporate evaluation, turning private hardship into on-camera context. The pattern did not stop there. Chris was the next employee Rick worked with.
Hank, this is Chris.
How you doing, Hank? I'm Chris. Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you.
The others, he shared this deeply personal information with a stranger he believed was part of a corporate review. Without establishing boundaries around what should remain private, Chris revealed that he was a recovering alcoholic.
I had a drinking and drug problem.
Drinking and a drug problem. That's gotta be tough.
Oh, it's very tough sometimes.
Even when Rick made a subtle comment to gauge whether he should withhold further information due to how sensitive it was, especially being on record, Chris continued without hesitation.
I actually had to go through rehab. 6.5 years later, I'm standing right here in front of you.
Well, I give you a lot of credit for saying, hey, enough of this,
Across all three employees, the pattern was consistent. Every shift became a disclosure, every interaction drifted into personal grievance, and every moment of work carried information far beyond the job itself. While Roto-Rooters was a company of employees with personal stories told in front of cameras, the employees in Season 1, Episode 9, openly challenged how everything was run. Floral Designers, 1-800-Flowers, Season 1, Episode 9. Chris McCann, president and COO of 1-800-Flowers, America's largest florist and online gift shop, posed as Patrick O'Reilly to visit company locations in New Jersey, Ohio, Massachusetts, and New York. The cover story was simple. Cameras were rolling, and employee after employee treated the documentary like a chance to air their frustrations. Pauline was Chris's first stop in New Jersey, where she worked as a floor designer and arranger. She was fast, skilled, and clearly knew what she was doing. Chris struggled to keep up with her pace.
Just cover up the oasis, work your way all the way around.
Despite it being Chris's first day on the job, Pauline had already formed an opinion of his performance, judging him not just on speed, but also in his ability to adapt to the precision required in floral arrangement work.
How do you think I'm doing?
Struggling, very much so. Patrick, he's trying, but I don't think he would last in this business.
She told Chris that she and other designers had ideas for new floral arrangements, but the company never listened, forcing them to create the same designs again and again.
There is one arrangement, it's called Lot to Love. And it's been here since I've been here since 1997. And now it's like they need to retire it and come out with something new, something different. 1-800-Flowers is outdated. Not saying to step away from the old school arrangements, but let's step it up a notch.
It may have been a genuine frustration, but Pauline chose to share it on camera, and she would not be the last employee to do so, revealing early how openly employees treated the Undercover environment as a space for airing internal grievances. At the Fannie Mae Chocolate Factory in Canton, Ohio, a subsidiary of 1-800-Flowers, Chris worked alongside Nicole on a conveyor belt, packing chocolate-covered pretzels. He struggled to keep up, and products soon started ending up on the factory floor, which added pressure to an already fast-moving production line where timing and consistency were critical.
Slow down, man. I got chocolate falling out of the boxes left and right, and the floor is a mess.
Nicole used the moment to criticize the factory's production goals, saying they were unrealistic and set by executives who had never worked on the factory floor. Ironically, one of those executives was standing right beside her.
My opinion is I think they look at like the paperwork at the end of the day and they see how much we ran, so they know what we're capable of. The people from the office, Pat, that make these goals, they never come out to see how hard we have to work.
You don't?
No, never.
The pattern continued in Massachusetts. Cheryl managed a store that was seeing very little business when Chris arrived, making it clear that attracting customers had become one of the location's biggest challenges. When Chris asked what the problem was, Cheryl blamed the lack of advertising and confusion surrounding the company's brand. According to her, some customers believed 1-800-Flowers was nothing more than an internet business or a room full of telephone operators.
You guys been real busy?
It depends. Honestly, I just gotta get people to realize what 1-800-Flowers is. Because they think it's only online. Yeah. You know how many people come in here and think that there's just operators?
Maybe the sign could be a little bit larger or something like that.
Chris struggled to keep up with her pace, falling behind as she moved quickly through tasks that had become second nature to her after years of experience. Chris McCann was shocked by what he heard from employees across multiple locations, and he was forced to reveal his true identity, becoming the first boss in the series to have his undercover role exposed.
Patrick O'Reilly.
No?
Chris McCann, I'm president of 1-800-Flowers.com.
Oh,
I'm just completely shocked right now.
You've got me.
By now, the season had already produced its share of difficult employees, frustrated workers, and poor managers. But then, none of them created a workplace quite like the one Kobe Brooks walked into at Hooters. Jimbo, Hooters, Season 1, Episode 2. Kobe Brooks, the CEO of Hooters featured in Season 1, Episode 2, decided to go undercover to learn more about the challenges his frontline staff faced. But he ended up finding something much more serious than he could have ever imagined.
Construction business, and construction's not doing well with the economy, and I am going to branch out and try something completely different in my life. The coworkers I'll be working with will be told that I will be followed by a documentary crew doing a documentary on entry-level positions.
Kobe Brooks began his journey. He was placed under the supervision of a general manager named Jimbo.
Jimbo, yeah, I'm doing good, man. How are you?
Pretty good.
Dude, we gotta get rocking and rolling.
All right,
so
okay.
got your
Jimbo
shirt.
treated his staff with clear disrespect that made the environment feel degrading. He regularly conducted appearance inspections, which were not about workplace safety or hygiene, but focused entirely on the physical appearance of his staff.
Compliment her on her lack of nails. My, those are some non-glamorous nails you have. Hey, why don't you grab and get another tattoo before tomorrow, too, okay?
Jimbo's poor leadership did not stop at verbal comments. He actively created games designed to humiliate the waitresses.
Today, you want to go home? You want to leave early today? Cuts are going to be on games. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
So what am I supposed to do about school if I have to leave?
You're going to play my reindeer games.
You go to school?
Yes.
He organized a contest where staff had to compete against one another to eat entire plates of beans without using their hands, a task that shifted attention away from service duties and into forced participation under managerial pressure.
Bean eating contest, all right? Maybe we'll get all the girls, we'll shove their faces down in the beans and have them clean it up, you know?
Right.
Suck her down, good times, all right?
Do they seem to like those kind of things?
Hey, no rules.
No rules.
Okay? Girls are...
The reward for the winner was simply being allowed to leave work early, turning a basic workplace right into a prize for humiliation.
Here's the rules of my game. The first girl that finishes her plate of beans will go home. You cannot use your hand. Come on, girl, who wants to go home? Oh, look, ooh, doggy.
By this point, viewers were no longer just watching the episode. They were actively reacting to what they were seeing. I would have broken my cover and had Jimbo eat the beans, all of the 3 plates. He actually had no idea of what creativity was. He took the insult as creativity. Kobe Brooks was visibly frustrated with Jimbo's conduct, but because Jimbo worked for an independent franchise owner, he did not have the power to fire him on the spot. However, he escalated the matter of appropriate action to be taken within the franchise structure.
What I saw in there just a minute ago has got me quite aggravated, so I'm going to be making a phone call to the owner of the franchise.
Please leave a message after the tone.
It's Kobe. You got a manager there in the Dallas market that the way he approached and interacted with the girls, it's really not acceptable behavior. I think it is a serious matter. I think it needs some immediate action.
That decision did not fully settle the reaction. If anything, some viewers felt the behavior deserved even harsher criticism, saying, not only was the bean eating sick, but the uniform inspection felt very sexual harassment lawsuit to me too. That dude needs to be fired.